It is given powered by World Sports Betting. It is times.co.za. Back again on a Monday, talking all things South African football. MTN8 semi-final draw. Mamelodi Sundowns against Stellenbosch and Orlando Pirates taking on Cape Town City. It means there's a potential for a final in a Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates. It also means that's a positive part. It doesn't have a negative part though, because that's the implication of it is negative. It also means, alternatively, we could also have Cape Town City and Stellenbosch. That's not a negative thing. I mean, yeah, well, Stellenbosch is fighting to get to the final. Cape Town City also is fighting to get to the final. But of course, on the bright side for everyone in South African football, I'm sure everyone would like to see Sundowns and Orlando Pirates, the repeat of last year's final. Sorry, Cape Town City. Sorry, Stellenbosch. We'll talk about that in the video with Lindo. And we'll also talk about Iqraam Rayners, who's signed for Sundowns. Mangoba Mngqiti confirmed it at the press conference that he will be a great addition for the club. Lindo, first and foremost, you happy with the draw? Were you expecting anyone other than Stellenbosch in the MTN8?
Let me greet you first.
Show him forward. Yes, sir.
To be honest with you, it's
you niggas love greeting.
But yeah, to be honest with you, Gauteng versus Cape Town. I'm hoping the Cape Town teams would want to eliminate the Gauteng teams. It's Mamelodi Sundowns, Orlando Pirates, Gauteng, Cape Town City, Stellenbosch. For me, you look at both games, very interesting games. I think 3 teams out of the 4 almost play similar. Very direct, counter-attacking football. You look at the style of play, say Mamelodi Sundowns, it has changed as well. You look at the Cape Town City, similar approach, a ball-playing team, position-based. Stellenbosch, the very same. You're looking at a team like the Orlando Pirates, position-based, a lot of counter-attacking football. I think the semi-finals are going to be interesting, looking at all 4 teams. Going into Stellenbosch, the Mamelodi Sundowns, it's going to be a very difficult game. I think no team wants to play against Stellenbosch, but but we've done well, more especially last season. You look at the players Stellenbosch.
Can I say this before you continue?
Yeah.
You realize that you'll potentially play against Stellenbosch that doesn't have Iqraam Rayners.
Yeah.
And that you'll potentially play against a Stellenbosch that doesn't have Dino van Rooyen if Pirates eventually sign him, which will be an interesting Stellenbosch. It will be a different one without 2 of their main players. Not main in a sense that they are their main attackers.
Captains, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Senior players for them. So you'll potentially be playing against a completely different Stellenbosch in the sense that they won't have the strong players that they usually have.
But credit to Stellenbosch and their thingy and their scouting department and their analyst department, because you look at the profile of players that they have in Kulego, almost similar. You are replacing Iqraam Rayners Mujela. I think Mujela is a good player. You are replacing a player like Dino van Rooyen or Jurgen, which is a young player, number 6.
Jurgens, they started playing him since last season. Actually.
Yeah, I think also they are DDC. Credit to them. I think I did say for winning the next gen. I think they've got an incredible right back there. I think there's a succession plan there. I think there's a reason why they let to Dino van Rooyen. But what I saw, there's a stat that I saw last season where he won the most tackles in the league. He's in the top 5 with Dino van Rooyen, so he's very important for them. Their captain, their leader. You're looking at the loss of Iqraam Rayners as well, because it's confirmed by Mangoba Mngqiti. I feel that Iqraam is one of the top strikers in the league. He's more of a nippy striker. He's a out of ball striker kind of. He's the one, he can drop deep, he can play outside, he can play inside, he can run in behind as well.
So they will be without those players.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, I don't see them struggling, because like I said, they've got a
But the other thing is that you can't use Rayners because he's already played in the MTN8.
I'm very aware. I think that's why we've got a player like Usales. But to be honest with you, Mamelodi Sundowns' first game, I felt that yesterday we were a little bit harsh on the team, but I feel it was well deserved as well. But I look at the profile of players. I'm looking at I'm thinking, okay, Utaidu Riva, by playing him in a 2 when you're playing against the team that plays with a lot of pace up front, I think we're going to have similar problems when we play against Stellenbosch. A lot of pace in the final third. You're looking at their midfield, a lot of balance, a lot of creativity to Gunduli, which Gunduli, I think he has done incredibly well. You look at a player like Adams, is starting to chip in with goals now. He's adding in the final third as well. You look at their back 4, very experienced. Abomloisana, Botore. I think they've got a problem with the goalkeeper. But moving into Sundowns, just to be quick, Mamelodi Sundowns, new style of play, Kulego. Not convincing win yesterday, but we remain positive because we are very supportive of Coach Mangoba, Coach Steve, Coach Coach Mfohloza. For me, technically, yesterday we lost the ball very easy, more especially in high pressure zones. You look at the format of how we want to play in Kulego. We want to use the striker as a point of reference, which is Shalulile, right? Shalulile must drop so that we can use Amana Mbatenai to bring the game closer to the center. So when they feed him as a point of reference, one of the first responsibilities in Kulego is protect the ball. Bambagahle maliethu. You understand? So in those areas, we take the ball from a low pressure zone, we take the ball into a high pressure zone. When you bring Shalulile into a high pressure zone, that's not his strength. Most people are saying Shalulile is a finisher. Put him in situations where he's just going to finish. But now, if you want him to come into a high pressure zone where he's not comfortable in a first touch and making a connection in between a winger and the midfield, I feel that you're not bringing the best out of him.
So you're feeling confident about we're gonna get there when we get there. We'll analyze the matches when we analyze the matches. But you're feeling confident that Sundowns could go through Stellenbosch?
I think we've done well against them. Looking at the two games, I think we'll do well. And the first one is at home. I think we need to kill them. I think we're going to go through.
All right. Cape Town City, Orlando Pirates?
Orlando Pirates have been doing well. In my opinion, they play the best football in the league currently. Very dynamic, very fluid, move the ball quicker, very dangerous in Guma 1v1 situations with the players that they have. Cape Town City, the very same, an experienced midfielder. You know, Kamel Kholom coach had an incredible game in his first game. Fortune Makaringa played very, very well as well. I was very impressed by Fortune Makaringa.
I think they haven't answered the question I've been asking about them, Cape Town City. I asked the question about who's going to be their goal scorer. Because even when Mayo was there, I was saying, where else are the goals going to come from? Because it took a penalty for them to score. I watched the game on Saturday. The same Gonzalez missed a penalty in the first half. He scored eventually in the last 5 minutes of the game for them to win. I still ask that question, who is going to be scoring the goals? There's a young man, Ujodi Ashen. I think he comes from their DDC. I don't think that's going to be the answer for them. And if they can't answer that question of who's going to score the goals for them, I don't know if they can beat Paris over two legs. They can, obviously, in terms of inherently, with these four teams, any of them can beat each other with a semi-final. But they have to answer the question of how are we going to score, because Paris are definitely going to score.
Yeah, Paris will definitely score. I look at the Cape Town City and I think about that game. I think to myself, if they don't bring in someone before they play on Paris, they're going to have a problem. Because I was looking at another stat as well. Gonzalez created, he's the top actually, he's the first. I think he created about 17 big chances last year, which for me, he's one of the wingers that can kick both left and right, which is what Nkulego Besi preach.
I don't think he's scoring enough though.
But we need consistency from him. We need consistency from him. We need consistency from Rhodes on the other wing. We need consistency. I think we need a goal as well from Abu Makaringa. Abu Makaringa need to chip in with goals. Abu Khudaman this season. But to be honest, you look at their front line, it lacks goals, in my opinion, which would make it difficult for them playing against the Orlando Pirates, because the Orlando Pirates is a team that has a lot of goals in them.
You back Pirates in that fixture?
I back Pirates, yeah. I think Pirates will go through, more especially in Tule. I think Cape Town City will win one of the matches, but the Orlando Pirates will score more goals and then we'll go through.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there, of course. The fixtures will take place at some point in the month of August. I suppose I was itching to ask you this question regarding Iqraam Rayners. I spoke to So about it. I'll speak to Bobo as well about it. Iqraam Rayners, Mamelodi Sundowns striker. You have Arthur Salas. You also have Peter Shalulile. I'm sure there's someone else as well. You always packed as a team in those kind of positions, attacking positions. Number one, do you expect that to go through? Number two, was there any thought to go to Uyapilo? Do we really need him? What was your initial reaction?
My initial reaction, actually, I watched the game against Nigeria, or if I'm not mistaken, it was Zimbabwe he played. I think
he scored with the Zimbabwean game. And the Nigerian game, I looked in his eyes. My feeling was that I sensed no fear. And I thought, wow, it's the first time we're playing internationally and we're playing in Nigeria. And I sensed zero fear from him. There are other things that he cannot do, but the fact that he's a striker on a spin and he had no fear, and I was like, damn, he's got
pain resistance. He's got an aggressive press on him. He's got an incredible first touch. Can link it defend. He can link in midfield. Can connect Nama Wingawake as well. He's got the ability. He's got a goal in him. He's got 15 goals. I think he's the second. I think he's in the top 5 of the chances created, big chances last season, and also in open play. I think he's also the third, if I'm not mistaken, after Gonzalez, no Rhodes, where he created in open play, after Pans, I mean to say, in open play, I think created the most chances as well. Looking at Rayners, I feel that Umangoba, one of the reasons why he wants to bring him in is because of the Champions League. I think they did same. In Champions League, they used to playing with big strikers. He's an EP striker, moves in between our pockets, can drop deep. Jobang Jelil has got a goal in him, he's got a good first touch, he's got the pain resistance. It's a little bit of a different profile to Shalulile because he's more of a ball player. But you look,
I don't think is slightly better as a ball player than Shalulile, but he's not. I don't think instinctively he wants to play ball. He wants to receive ball. I think he can. What he can do better than Shalulile is bring in Devin Titus, Antonio van Wyk, and Andre de Jong. He was always able to receive the ball, played to Titus, played to de Jong, played to van Wyk, whereas Shalulile can't even play to someone next to him. So that's the major difference. Now he's been in Pretoria before, SuperSport United, and I think that there are players who thrive in different environments. I think most strikers will thrive as Sundowns because it is a ball-playing team, and it's a team that creates opportunities. Even yesterday in the first half, should have scored 5 goals.
Yep.
It's a matter of whether or not the striker will score goals. Are you concerned about the fact that he's clearly failed before when he went to Pretoria? And I don't think that that's an exaggeration.
Yeah.
He was a top goal scorer. He took Stellenbosch out of the NFD as a top goal scorer, and they got promoted that year. And then he played for Stellenbosch, and then he earned a move to Pretoria, right, which is a great thing. But under Gavin Hunt, it didn't work out for him. Are you concerned about that he seems to be a player that thrives in one environment?
I'm not worried, to be honest. And I want to give credit to the performance analyst of Mamelodi Sundowns in the scouting department, about Ramagalela, about Gulam Protein, his son, Uyadim Valodia. You look at players, I'm a head of performance, Abu Masha. Mamelodi Sundowns is well it's big in that department, because I think we signed in a stats bomb as well, I think 2 seasons ago. So we follow the stats. I think with Iqraam Rayners, we've been following him a lot. We've scouted him. We have his numbers. We've got his data. I think he will fit in perfectly, more especially in the Champions League.
I mean, you could. So someone can score 20 goals elsewhere, and the change of environment can trigger them losing confidence, not scoring, which is the same. I mean, someone can score. So Kanye Samayo could have been scouted by Belo Wizardad, and they would have seen, okay, he scores, generally speaking, 15 goals per season, and this is what we need. Unfortunately, the change of environment can also trigger you losing form, a different language being spoken. In Stellenbosch, for example, it's the Winelands. They speak Afrikaans for the most part. That's why about Dino van Rooyen, Ashley Dupree, they thrive. Antonio van Wyk, they thrive. Jaden Adams, they thrive, because everyone, Magavula, everyone in their street speak the same language. Whereas he moves to Pretoria, Babua Spitori, it's Joburg, and it's a different environment.
But let's be honest, Nkulego, Kevin has that kind of striker has never been his profile of a striker he likes. He likes playing with a big striker, Abu Ikakaru, Abu Pretley for Grobler. I can name a lot of strikers that Abu Kingston. He's used so many big, tall strikers that want to keep the ball, pin the defense. Very good in dead ball situations. Very good in Jewels. So for me, he wouldn't have survived Vele in that environment, because he was always playing on the first ball and the second ball. You understand? So for me, he's an off-the-ball striker, like you said. You're right. But for me, when I watched Iqraam, because I really paid attention to him, I realized that there's so much in his game that he's also actually very good with his feet. But I think his best quality is to run off the ball behind the defenders. So I feel that with how we want to play, more especially if you watch Sundowns, more especially after jumping a center line, we're always looking for a forward pass and the connection in between Ama Wing and Ama Lentuza. Like we said, we're going to analyze the games as he comes into Mamelodi Sundowns. But I look at the profile of Iqraam, and I say to him myself, this is the kind of striker we need in Mamelodi Sundowns. Because with Umayo, I had my doubts myself. Because I said to myself, it doesn't really move a lot. He's not really a box, but he's a finisher as well. But I was looking for a striker on a brain. And I think Iqraam can provide that with us. Didn't really do well with SuperSport, but for obvious reasons in terms of his style of play, Saka Kevin. But I think he's going to do incredibly well for Mamelodi Sundowns.
All right, last one. I want to ask you about the implications of the signing for Shalulile. What does this mean for him?
You know, when big teams always bring in new players every season. I think Ushasha, we've given him 3 seasons, has scored incredibly goals. We are grateful. We don't want to sound like we are ungrateful. But with how we want to play now, I think the game is also running away from him. Positive criticism is part of support. I think Ushasha has had his opportunity, had a terrible season in my opinion. Maybe Abantu Bazoti, Urulani couldn't use him better last season. But looking at the first game, because in my opinion, you are as good as your last game. Looking at him last is all got opportunities to score, didn't score. But I think I look at Rayners, I look at Sales, I think to myself, those are the kind of profile of strikers we need at the club moving forward. Will Shalulile win us the Champions League as a sole striker?
Unfortunately not.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. So I think the decision to bring Sales and Rayners comes from that decision. I think the board and the coaches, the technical team, they sat down and said, nama analyst abo Mario Masha, they said, will we be able to win the Champions League with Shalulile? And I think everyone came to a conclusion, no.
Yeah, this is on his last legs at Sundowns. I think one thing that Sundowns fans need to be very careful about, and this happens to all fan bases as well, Uguti, don't forget that he scored, I think, 70 goals in the last 4 seasons for you. Remember that, but don't leave on that. If you have to replace him, replace him. But the moment you are booing him, then it's like you don't understand history. You don't appreciate it. You don't appreciate history, and you don't deserve good players that go in and score 70 goals in such a short period of time for you. It might be between 60 and 70, but remember that there were seasons where you almost broke Mbesuma's record, even if I don't know whether he eventually did, but
no, he didn't.
He got really close to Mbesuma's record. And remember those seasons. And it's not something that happens. It happens once every 15 years.
We are very grateful.
In South Africa, where someone scores 25 goals or 30 goals across all competitions. So always remember that. But I think it is fair to think that this may be his last season.
Yeah, I think I'm not gonna sell Mamelodi Sundowns players, to be honest with you. But in my opinion, there's a message that is been sent to him indirectly. Big clubs operate like this, Nkuleo. When they're not going to, there's going to performance culture. Like I said to you, I'm a performance analyst, and we've got something that maybe is a stats bomb. We signed a contract. We are in partnership with his stats bomb. And for me, his stats haven't been impressive, more especially in the matches that he's played. There's a reason why Iqraam is brought into the club, more especially for a Champions League, like I said. I think Shalulile will have his fair share this season to prove himself in the PSL. Because in the Champions League, also remember, they are used to playing against that kind of striker, right? Which is the profile of Shalulile. But they are not used to playing against this striker. It's fun, no Ribeiro, for example, no Iqraam. Right. Very nippy, very good on the ball, very quick as well.
We're done. Most of your videos take 35 minutes. We're done, right?
No, we're done. Anymore. I just want to speak. I just want to say, with the signings that we've signed, credit to the scouting department.
This is not your last video.
Credit to the scouting department.
Credit to the shoot video.
Credit to the performance analyst, Abu Mario Marsh and Abu Kulam. Sure.
All right, there you go. Thank you very much, Lindo. Thank you very much to everyone who's watching us as well. Hope you're enjoying these videos. We can see, of course, through the number of people watching these videos that you are really enjoying them. And we thank you so much for that as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on the videos. iDiskiTV, iDiskiTimes, all sports betting. Thank you for watching us.
Toyota Vets, more or less cash.